I made not one, not two, but actually 3 Christmas CDs, and I can promise you it's not my last because there's just so much great music, and there's just always one more song that I want to sing before it's my time to sing in heaven and not here. And so I had the joy, absolute joy, of making a new CD this year, and I'm so excited, I'm so ecstatic about it because it was just a dream come true, and it just went way beyond my expectations. And the folks here at Northwest Church came behind me and supported me so I could finish it. So I'm so thankful for the ones who love me in this place and helped me finish the work. So I'm going to be playing quite a few songs from that CD tonight. And when I was choosing songs, I like to choose familiar things that people know, but then I also like to pick songs that nobody knows. Has anyone ever heard of the Cherry Tree Carol? Besides the people who have my new CD. You don't count. So the Cherry Tree Carol, that's a really strange one, right? And so I think it was written in about the 15th century, very, very old. And here's the thing about stories. When stories are passed down through generations and people can't read, so what happens when a story gets told over and over? Like sometimes the details might get a little mixed up. And so this next song, you're going to listen to the words and think, okay, that's not the Christmas story that I ever heard. Certainly not the story that was told in Luke chapter 2. So we're just going to consider this is the National Enquirer version of the Christmas story. This is the version that you never heard. This is told from the perspective of Joseph when he found out that his wife was pregnant. When Joseph was an old man was he. He married Virgin Mary, the Queen of Galilee. He married Virgin Mary, the Queen of Galilee. So you see, we're screwed up already, right? But Joseph and Mary walked through an orchard green, where were berries and cherries as thick as might be seen. Where were berries and cherries as thick as might be seen. Mary said to Joseph, so meek and so mild, Joseph, gather me some cherries, for I am with child. Joseph, gather me some cherries, for I am with child. Hey, Joseph's not happy. But Joseph flew in anger flew he. Let the father of the baby gather cherries for thee. Let the father of the baby gather cherries for thee. He wasn't very nice. But up spoke baby Jesus from out of Mary's womb. Bow down the tallest tree, that my mother might have some. Bow down the tallest tree, that my mother might have some. Bow down the tallest tree, and to his mother's hand she said, see, Joseph, I have cherries at command. She said, see, Joseph, I have cherries at command. Joseph took Mary all on his right knee, crying, Lord, have mercy on me. Crying, Lord, have mercy on me. When Joseph was an old man was he. He I forgot to mention that that's a total hippie song. It was revived in the 1960s by Joan Baez and Judy Collins. And so I figure if Joan Baez and Judy Collins can sing it, then so can I, right? So we were collecting songs for this album back in June, and there's always that elusive 10th song. You need 10 songs to make a record, right? And we had 9. And so as I was finishing up my pre-production work, the producer said, "You're going to write the 10th song." And I said, "No, I'm not. I hate writing songs." So that was the answer to that question. I got in my car and I drove back to Michigan. Well, I was on my way, driving straight up I-65 through Indiana, and I heard these words in my head: "Come, all you weary ones, and seek him. In a stable filled with hay you will find rest. You who are broken, kneel beside him. There's healing in the holy baby's breath." And I thought, oh no, I'm writing a song. So I worked on it. I hit voice record, and I kept recording these ideas. I got back to Michigan, and I sent a demo to the producer. I said, "Look, I did it. I wrote a song. Here it is." So he gets back to me, and he says, "Oh, well, that was very nice." Well, see, as a musician, those are 2 words you never want to hear, are very nice. Oh, that was very nice. That means that really stunk. And so I was like, "What do you mean that was very nice? That was a masterpiece. That was the next Mary, Did You Know?" And he says, "Well, it's just not knocking me off my chair yet." So I said, "Okay, fine. I won't write a song. I told you I didn't want to do it in the first place." So I was so put off that I stopped writing and I put it away. I said, "Forget it." But the Lord kept working on me all summer long, and these words kept bubbling up in my heart. So I decided I would work it and work it and work it. In August, I sent a recording to the producer, and I labeled it version 3,762,345. I hope you're happy. And he wrote back, and he said, "You got it." So this is Emmanuel Unto Us, otherwise known as the I-65 Christmas song. Somewhere just south of Indianapolis. Come, all you weary ones, and seek him. In a stable filled with hay, you will find rest. You who are broken, kneel beside him. There is healing in the holy baby's breath. For unto us the Son is given, unto us the child is born. Out of the darkness he appeared, laid in the manger of our sorrows and our fears. Glory of heaven, the Father's gift of love, a Savior given unto us, a Savior given unto us. Come, all you doubting ones, and touch him. His tender love is never out of reach. All you who fear, be still and know him. As you gaze into his eyes, you will find peace. For unto us the Son is given, unto us the child is born. Out of the darkness Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad I didn't give up and finish the song I think the Lord wanted to write. The next song that I added was a childhood favorite, The Little Drummer Boy. Anybody else remember The Little Drummer Boy? So I grew up listening to this song sung by the Harry Simeon Chorale. This is the old version where you hear the choir going, ba-rum, ba-rum, ba-rum. You know, it's the classic version. It is undoubtedly the best. I'm not going to try to imitate it. So when I thought about singing it, I thought, okay, I can't imitate the Harry Simeon Chorale. It's just going to be a very poor imitation. So what can I do? So I decided to pretend that I was the little drummer boy, okay? So if you and I were the little drummer boy, what would that feel like? So the story goes that he's a poor boy, right? And this does not take place in Michigan. This story happens in the Middle East. So it's probably not snowing outside. Forget the album cover you saw, Little Drummer Boy's out there and it's snowing. Okay, that never happened. He's in the desert, right? And it's hot. And there's probably sand in his mouth, and he's probably thirsty, and his eyes are burning, and he's tired, and he might be smelling camel poop from the animal in front of him. You know, let's get real. This is the real Little Drummer Boy. So when we went to set the tone musically, I told the producer, I said, we got to make this all Middle Eastern. We got to make it feel hot and sandy and windy. So are you ready to go to the Middle East? All right, here we are. This is the real Little Drummer Boy. Our finest gifts we bring, pa-ra-pa-pa-pa, to lay before the King, pa-ra-pa-pa-pa, ra-pa-pa-pa, ra-pa-pa-pa. So to honor Him, pa-ra-pa-pa-pa, when we come. Little baby, pa-ra-pa-pa-pa, I am a poor boy too, pa-ra-pa-pa-pa. Thank you. Am I on here? There we go. Oh, it's hard to sing that. That's so emotional. To think that we're all like that little drummer boy and we have nothing that God needs from us. But He just desires for us to just lay before His throne whatever it is that we have, as insignificant as it may seem, and to think that we can bring a smile to God's face. You know, there it is. This next song is my grandmother's favorite. This is an old Appalachian carol. This is Jesus, Jesus, Rest Your Head. Jesus, Jesus, rest your head. You have got a manger bed. All the folk of earth sleep in feathers at their birth. Jesus, Jesus, rest your head. You have got a manger bed. Have you heard about our Jesus? Have you heard about His fate? How His mother went to that stable on that Christmas Eve so late. Winds were blowing, cows were lowing, stars were glowing, glowing, glowing. Jesus, Jesus, rest your head. You have got a manger bed. To that manger came 3 wise men, bringing gifts from hin and yon, for the mother and the father and the blessed little son. Shepherds left their fields and flocks and sat beside the ass and ox. Jesus, Jesus, rest your head. You have got a manger bed. Jesus, Jesus, rest your head. You have got a manger bed. And my own personal favorite, this is the Coventry Carol from 12th century England. Lule, lule, thou little tiny child, bye bye, lule, lule. Lule, lule, thou little tiny child, bye bye, lule, lule. Oh, sisters too, how may we do for to preserve this day, this dear youngling of whom we sing, bye bye, lule, lule. Herod the king in his raging charged he hath this day his man of might in his own sight, all children young to slay, to slay. And then woe is me, poor child, for thee, and evermore unsay, for thy parting, nor say nor sing, bye bye, lule, bye bye, lule, bye bye, lule.
Coventry Carol.
Those of you who know me know that I love Great Britain and Ireland, and I have been there to minister many, many times, more times than I can count. And Ireland, I have to say, is my favorite place when I'm not in Michigan, of course. And I just love it, and I go often, and I have a radio broadcast in Ireland that I record from my house here in Michigan, which is a crazy thing that doesn't make sense, but that's just what God does with all of us. He does whatever you think He's going to do, He'll do the opposite, right? So just don't try to figure Him out. And so He uses me to minister to the Irish people, and they listen to me because I don't have an Irish accent, and they can't figure out if I'm Protestant or Catholic from the north and the south. I'm just from Michigan. So that's kind of strange to them, so they listen to my voice. So I was there in September, and I decided I wanted to make a music video for Carol of the Bells. And I have a friend there that is a very talented videographer. I said, I want to do Carol of the Bells. He said, Jean, it's September, and we don't have snow in Ireland. How are you going to do a winter video? I said, I don't know, but you'll figure it out. So he got this brilliant idea. He said, let's do it at night. Let's film it at night in the woods, and let's hang what he calls fairy lights around me. And I bought, of course, a beautiful Irish sweater. Yes, so you can see that on YouTube. The video today was chosen to be in the top 20 brand new Christmas songs on CBN. I was like, what? So, I know. It's like, what's that all about? So anyway, I'm just so excited. So now we're going to Ireland. So as I play for you, just close your eyes and pretend you're in the woods and there are fairy lights. Here we go. At this time, I would like to invite Tom and Pam Gregg to come join me. This is the fun part about this event, is that it's our heart to use this time to be a blessing to people who need some Christmas cheer, who need some Christmas love. And so last year we took up an offering for the Kalamazoo Gospel Mission, and we were praying about who to bless this year. And I saw a Facebook post just the other day from my good friends Tom and Pam, and who are pastors over at Life Changing Ministries out on, is it Kilgore Road? Really good friends, and we have done a lot of ministry together over the years, and God has opened the door for them to start ministering in Africa, of all places. And God has really given them favor in Africa, and they are in the process of building an orphanage for, is it 100 orphans? 100. So anyway, I saw that and I was like, there we go, Lord. Let's do it. Let's build an orphanage. So we're going to take up an offering for this ministry tonight, and I just want them to just share a little bit of their heart and how the Lord is using them. So, Tom?
Thank you. We don't get a chance to feel the water from the Lord that comes through her singing often enough. Isn't that beautiful? The Spirit's just beautiful here. Thank you, Gene.